So good to be here again. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Another Thursday night as we go. And thank you guys. Actually, thank you. Thank you all for showing up, taking the time out of your Thursday night to hop on and take on yourselves. Learn underwriting, take it to the next level for yourselves. Super, super excited to be here. For those of you guys that attended Grant Cardone's conference, whether it's virtually or you were actually there, he drops fire. He drops golden nuggets all the time. Just by being there, I can just see my ceiling constantly shattering, right? Just the possibilities for myself. I'm like, okay, well, I thought $1 million was my ceiling. And then that thing gets shattered. Then we're talking about bigger goals. I'm like, okay, 5 million. And then that gets shattered. And constantly he's just like, it's possible. Right. And when we believe it's possible, first we have to believe it, and then we will see it. If you don't believe it, it's not even possible for you. So again, thank you guys for taking the time out, hopping onto this call. The intention for this call, and this is why I do my Monday night and Thursday night calls for free, because I want everybody to feel and get the basics of multifamily, of investments. I personally believe that when you truly understand how the multifamily real estate game works, there is no other game. I know people are talking about crypto and stocks and this and that, but really, there's nothing like the multifamily game. I quit playing blackjack because I really, really understood this game. And Joe and I go to the casino and we do our we got our patterns in blackjack. First you do 2, then you do 5, then 3, whatever. 1, 3, 2, 5, right? First, you bet 25, then you bet 3 times, then you bet 5 times. Anyways, it doesn't work. I lose money every time. So, okay, as we give people a couple more minutes to hop on, I'll just share a little bit about myself. About a year ago, I stepped into the multifamily space. And if I can do this, and I'm sharing my journey, not to brag, but to show you guys that if it's possible for me, it means it's possible for every one of you. And you should be doing it faster, quicker. If you step into, all right, let's see what the roadmap is to get there, right? Grant Cardone built up his $5 billion empire in 34 years, maybe a little bit longer. That does not mean you need to take 34 years to do that. He's left all sorts of clues for us. And it's the reason why a lot of us are in the real estate club, and it helps us really accelerate. Things that would take a year to do, we may be able to do in a week because he's got the roadmap. So this call is, definitely a shout out to Uncle G. This year has been one of the best years of my life financially. And a huge part of that came from being at his real estate summit. So I know I brought 55 people to this summit, and all 55 people were like, wow, right? Like the energy itself, even those of you guys that were on virtual probably felt the energy too, because I saw the WhatsApp chat that was created in there, and man, that thing had more going on than the ones with people that are live at the event. So it transcends, we're moving into a space that, I don't know, we might not need to do live events anymore. Maybe everything can be virtual. So this call, right? This call, as like I said before, the intention is really to get everybody past the fundamental level, get a clear understanding of the process and the steps that it takes to go from where you are now to getting a deal under contract to closing the deal. This call is everything from there. We're not going to be talking about asset management. We're not talking about after you close the deal, but everything leading up to it. And maybe some people on here have that experience too. So feel free to raise your hand and share and chime in at any given point. But again, back to my journey. I've been doing real estate for about 18 years of my life and done everything in the residential space. Flips, ground up builds, short-term rentals, BRRRR method, right? Everybody knows the BRRRR, single family, duplex, triplex, quadplex. I've done all of them. Okay. Lease options, everything that there is that I thought was possible for me, I did. I never thought multifamily was possible. And because I always thought, well, one day I'll have $10 million to buy that. And this is the fundamental shift. This is the fundamental shift that we need to correct. And Grant pushes this and teaches this all the time, is you don't want 100% of a $1 million deal. You want 1% of a $100 million deal. See, both of that is $1 million. Right. And most of us were like, we have to get over that hurdle that single family or duplex or triplex, I can control it. I can own all of it. See, you don't want that. It's not scalable. You need a team. You want to be a part of something bigger. 100% of $1 million deal is still just one deal. And it's just one asset, right? But if you go 1% of $100 million deal, it could be a gigantic asset with hundreds of units, or it could be 10 separate $10 million assets. All of that, it's a mindset that we got to shift all the time. So that's the first nugget from Grant's conference. The second thing that I want to remind everybody about Grant's conference is that there is blood on the streets. And when there is blood on the streets, buy, even if it's your own blood. And I talked to a lot of people at the conference, and they were talking about how they were doing great. Well, back up a little bit to July and December last year. People were like, well, why should I stop flipping? Flipping was making so much more money, much quicker, and they're still promoting flipping. I was the same way. I sat there and I was like, Grant's like, get rid of all your single family junk. I'm like, why would I get rid of it? I have properties that are generating $20,000 a month. That type of return you cannot get in these multifamily deals. Why would I do that? So some of you guys may still be thinking that. But at this point where I'm at now, I want to get rid of all my short-term rentals, all those single family houses, because like Grant said, $25,000 is still $25,000, even if you make 1,000% on your money. Right. So when you go bigger, the difference between a smaller asset versus a bigger asset, the bigger asset, you can afford to pay for actually good service. When you have a smaller asset, like the single families that I've had, although it generated great money, I couldn't get a good management company, because at the end of the day, it's still like $4,000 a year they're going to make, or $10,000 a year, whatever it is. It's not enough for them to actually care about your property. The second thing is, anything that ever broke, I was like, we need to find the cheapest price. I'm over here looking for the cheapest price all the time. If it was we recently had a leak in one of our properties, and it was like $12,000. I was like, we can't do $12,000 on this property. And we just keep looking. And we kept looking for cheaper labor, and they would fix something, charges $1,000. We're like, okay, nope, didn't fix it. Find another person. I mean, all that time. Think about all that time that I wasted. I think I might have actually ended up spending 12 G's. Now, if you got a massive asset, you're just going to be like, all right, here's the best company. They got the best credibility. They got the best reviews, got the best warranty, best guarantees. Come, 15,000. We can afford to pay 15 grand. It doesn't even make a dent on an asset like that size, so it allows you to do that. And all that is, at the end of the day, is peace of mind. Peace of mind is the most important thing. Okay. So that's, oh wait, I didn't even tell my story. I tangent a lot, so I'm sorry for that ahead of time. From December last year, when I came to the conference and I had this stuck mentality about that, I decided to join the club anyways, because these, you know how it is. Some of you guys have seen those sharks, right? The sharks, Big Brother Dave, some of these guys in Cardone's sales teams, they're relentless. They surround you. And so I finally was like, all right, man, here's my card. Put it on 6 separate payments. I don't know. Maybe I'm going to cancel halfway through if I don't like it. Right. Like this, like half in, half out mentality. They got me. But from that point on, because I spent 25 G's on myself, it opened up so many doors. I met a couple here in Vegas. They just happened to be here from the club. Some of you guys might know Chris and Maricela. They were my first mentors, and they told me how much money they had spent in their mentorships in the clubs that they were a part of. They spent $240,000, and they tripled their net worth and they tripled their income. I was like, how do you do that? I don't even have this type of money. I don't really know exactly where it shifted, but at this point where I'm at 12 months later, I went from 12 units to 800 plus units. Plus I have 118 units under contract. All right. I didn't think that was possible for me. It's the proximity. A lot of it has to be credited to the people that I'm around all the time. And this past year, I'm proud to say that I did drop, and we did the math. We did the bookkeeping recently, $155,000 on mentorships and coaching and all that. Now, I took it on really quick. I learned from Chris and Maricel. I'm like, whatever you do, I'm in. I want to be wherever you guys are. So I did do that. I didn't even have close to that type of money before this. What has equated in this time is triple my income and doubled my net worth. Yeah, it seems like, whoa, you went from 12 to 800. It should be way more. That's not really, when you look at it, again, I want 1% of a massive portfolio of assets. So I share this because that is what was the result for me. Okay. And I'm also not here by Grant sending me here to pitch people. I just want to share that's my own personal journey. And I'm sure there are other people here that have been on that journey as well, or at least started that journey. Okay. So I'll start with just a couple people. We'll do 6 people. Raise your hand, share who you are, where you're coming from, what are your challenges, where are we going to go with this call today? So wherever you're challenged, like this is the time, raise your hand, ask your question, don't be stuck. Matt, what's up? Unmute yourself. It's good to see you, brother.
Good to see you. Thanks for having me on the call, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for the opportunity to jump in and ask a question. For me, I'm Canadian. I'm from Toronto, Canada. That was my first real estate summit with Grant. I've been following him for 5 years. And for me, I'm all hyped up. I made some amazing connections, meeting so many of your amazing community and your team, and lots of people at the conference. And I'm coming back from that all hyped up. I want to keep the momentum going. And as I mentioned to you while we were down there, I'm seeking that same kind of mentorship that it sounds like you set up with your 2 people, with Chris and Maricela, I think. So I'm looking for that kind of mentorship, somebody I can work with very closely, and get my hands in the dirt, get in the trenches and learn by doing. I'm not afraid of the hard work and committing the time to it, but really looking to learn from somebody through doing and through proximity as well. So I'd say that's my biggest question right now, is like, what's next? How do I move and carry this enthusiasm and momentum into actual practical action?
Yeah, that's a really great question, because I'm sure so many people have that same thing. And I'll keep it short. When you first start, especially you're in this space, first of all, coming from something that has you vibrating like that, you have to keep the momentum going. 2 weeks from now, if you stop jumping on these calls, if you stop getting excited about multifamily, your life will go back to exactly the same way. And this event would just be, it was a great memory. Grant's awesome. It's cool, but let me go back to what I was doing. And then 5 more years is going to pass. And then you're going to have that wake up moment again. You know what? I need to get back. But we don't need to waste that time. So awesome that you want to get involved and you want to keep this momentum going. I would say the first step is hop on a bunch of free stuff. A lot of people doing free stuff, a lot of free things on YouTube, books, read books, and you'll find somebody that you are feeling like I'm relating to it. You know, I like the way this person presents, you know, and if it's Grant, like if you think about some of the people that you will follow, and I thought about this, do I join someone's mentorship or mastermind, or do I go straight to the person that mentored them? Like if I had that opportunity, it's not even just about what is being taught to you, but the energetic exchange that happens when Grant is speaking. Like I was on his reality Real Estate King TV show, and just by being around him leveled me up. My thinking was elevated. You know, so much changed in that time. A lot of stories that I broke through. So I would say look around first, you know, just check it out. Do the shotgun approach. You're shooting all these pebbles out and you're just looking and observing. Then it's very important from that time frame to getting focused. Okay, you can't listen to Dave Ramsey and Grant Cardone at the same time. You just can't, because you're going to learn a whole bunch of shit that are conflicting, and then now you're more confused than before. Once you figure out who you're going to listen to and who you're going to follow, focus it. Give yourself. My coach actually tells me, my life coach, my personal life coach says, hey, if you're going to do something, stick with it for 6 months, reassess it after 6 months, like have that level of commitment. Right. So I don't know where to point you exactly directly, but I am telling you, you know, we do our own things, and we have our own, you know, this is a space that you can continue to learn and excel and you know, gain confidence, gain knowledge. Right. Our confidence, really everybody here is only lacking confidence. All right. There are, and I talked about this. I teach a course in miracles as well, but I talk about 3 levels. The first one is hope. I hope I can do this. I think I can do it. I hope everything works out. If I'm going to be on this call, I hope that I learn something. And then there's another one, which is, man, a lot of people talk great things about Alex, about Grant. I have faith that if I join this, I'm going to break through. And I have faith that if I join this, I'm going to have multifamily. I'm going to create financial freedom for myself and my family, legacy freedom. And then the third one, okay, and this is the one that most people don't access, because even hope is great. Hope is strong. Faith is great. Faith is strong. Both of them have holes in it. It allows your own stories to come through, and you'll sell yourself short. The third one is absolute certainty. With absolute certainty and without a doubt, no question in my mind that I'm in the right place. Every time I join something, I tell myself with absolute certainty, I am going to find the $1 million word, phrase, sentence, something. It's up to me. It's not up to you. It's not up to Grant to give that to me. I'm going to do it. Absolute certainty, because it's up to me. It's a very powerful place to stand. So that's what I would say. And, you know, as we continue to have these calls, this is going to be every single week, unless I'm at a conference, which happens a lot. This call will happen. All right. So yeah, just be in that question for now. Like who's going to be my mentor? All right. And who's mentoring my mentor? Do I have access to that person? That would be awesome.
Appreciate that. Thanks so much, Alex.
Yep. Go ahead, Joe.
Hey guys, how are you? My name's Joe Gray. I live in South Florida with my wife and my family. I just want to say that this is actually my first time on this call. I've known it's been available for a little bit now, but I am brand new to this arena. And I want to take a moment to thank Alex for introducing this multifamily to me. Before this, I was, long story short, focused on single family flips, possible duplexes and stuff. But since Alex has inspired me to follow Grant and get on board with what he's been delivering, things for me have completely shifted. So Alex, thank you so much. I really appreciate you and who you are. And let me be clear about why I'm even a yes to what Alex said. I'm a yes because I know who Alex is, and Alex is a man of integrity. He's somebody who, when he says X is going to happen on X date at X time, I know that I can count on Alex. He's got power behind his words. So that's why I have taken the coattails, so to speak, of Alex, and I've followed what he's done, for the last not even 2 months. And thank you for introducing me to the real estate summit that Grant provided. That was monumental for me. There were some huge aha moments for me and for my wife. She was there as well. And things that I will, those aha moments are those moments, as we all know, is like when a light bulb goes off. But there are also moments that are like experiential moments that you'll never forget. And there's things that he said in there and the way that he landed them for me that I will not forget. I'll be 80, 90, 105 years old, and I'll still remember the things that landed for me in that summit. So thank you, Alex, for giving me the opportunity to be a part of your team and to play in this big game.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate all the things that you said. And welcome to the club.
Thank you.
Yeah. So one thing that I love doing, I love watching people squirm as the sharks, as Grant's sharks, hook their teeth onto them. So I have a lot of pictures of people that I've brought to the conference that are, getting eaten into enlightenment. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate your trust. And how crazy is it? Are you even looking at single family houses anymore? Are you even driving around looking at them? No,
not even. It's not even it doesn't even register for me now.
Yeah. And what are you looking at?
I mean, when I met you and got involved with you, my wife and I were looking at, 8, 10, 16 unit in Delray Beach. And then, after this summit, I'm looking at a minimum of 32, but that doesn't even light me up. And the reason why is because, he talked about like, okay, what if 1 or 2 renters or 3 renters, boom, your occupancy rate just went down 8 to 10%. So now we're looking at, I mean, I underwrote this one, it's 868 units. Underwrote this one, it's 338 units. I mean, it just makes sense. It really makes sense to. Here's what I took away on Wednesday's call. He said, if you have no intention in the future of playing small, why play small right now? And that really hit for me. So if my intention is to play big and play in that big arena called multifamily, 100, 200, 300, 500 units, why am I going to be looking at 8 units right now? So my focus has completely shifted in just a matter of 4 or 5 days, like a very short amount of time.
Wow. I actually missed it when he said that, but that's a nugget right there from Grant to Joe to you.
Yeah.
Like if you take nothing away from today's call and you're just like, that's it, I'm done with Alex's call at Thursday night, you can take that with you and change your life with it. So thank you, Joe. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Cool. I like you drank the Kool-Aid. You got the 10X hat on now.
I'm good with drinking the Kool-Aid, man. I'm good with it. I love
Kool-Aid.
I love it. I'll take seconds. Cool.
All right, Debbie, go ahead.
Hey, my name is Debbie. I'm from Asheville, North Carolina. And I am totally new to real estate, period. I am a pharmacist by profession, and I pretty much raised 5 kids on my own. So I feel like I want to leave a legacy for my kids. I don't want to see them have to work as hard as I did all these years and still not really have a great retirement or be able to just, enjoy the rest of life that you have. So I had actually looked at another mentorship program before I looked at grants, and had actually did this little 7-day master class, and actually was thinking about it real hard, and actually put down a $2,000 deposit on it. And but I still wanted to just think about it. But before that, I had already bought Grant's Introduction to Buying Apartments guide. And so I was kind of like toggling between both of those. And then I messed around and signed up for the summit virtually. And oh my God, I actually had forgotten that I signed up for the summit, and I got a notice, and I was like, oh my gosh, I got to get on here and see what this is all about. And man, just the possibilities. And mind you, I really didn't have the money I'm joining this thing on borrowed money. So now I got to make it work. So I'm brand new. I'm, from the ground up. I want to learn everything I can learn. I'm committed. I want to, I don't have a bunch of money to throw in, but I want to throw in whatever I can. I'm really willing to dig in. So that's pretty much why I'm here.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. And welcome.
Thank you.
Paige. Heyo.
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
Great.
Good, good, good. I am here with my business partner. He's 5 years old and he takes payments in chicken nuggets. We are heading home from doing Christmas stuff. But this weekend, like, just a little bit of background. I couldn't stand, oh yeah, I'm in Target. But prior to this weekend, honestly, I thought Grant was the biggest a-hole on the planet. Literally, I went to this summit because I'm like, I need some tax write-offs. It's a 3-day trip to Miami. I have a babysitter. Why not? Right? Like I literally wasn't planning on getting anything from this but some like authentic Cuban food. But I went to the first day and I was like, oh my God, like my eyes were so wide open. It was ridiculous. Like we learned so much and I was so like inspired to just do some stuff, right? So like I left feeling like I need to find $25,000 so I can be a part of this real estate club. Haven't found it yet, but like, it's just crazy how I went from not liking the guy to like, hey, here's my life savings, right? So definitely. So here's where I am. I am going to own 100+ units by the end of 2023. I want to buy, I want to get into the real estate investors club because my main problem is like, number one, finding capital. Number two, it's like, I understand theoretically what he was saying, but practically, like, like what websites was he actually going to find these different sources? How do you speak to a broker in such a way that gives them confidence so they're not asking me for proof of funds? Because they would laugh at me if I did that, right? So like, I'm really looking for practical steps as to how to really talk with the brokers and get that step rolling. And I'm looking for $25,000. And I thought there was 50 people on this call. So if we do the math, that's not too much per person. So
There's 80. There's 80 people here.
Oh, 80 people, even better. Merry Christmas.
All right. Well, set up something. If it's to be, it's up to you. You can make it happen. All right. And I'll share this real quick. Everybody should be writing their grand story. And this is why so many super successful people out there, you know how they start their conversation? You know how they start their wealth? I joined a club. I went to some conference, just like your story right now. And I had no money. It was my last $25. I had to, borrow money to make it happen. I had to, go on a call with 80 people and be vulnerable and share and raise this money. And here I am today, $5 billion. Okay, so that's one. Number two is your 100 units in 2023. I promise you, you are selling yourself so short. All right. Where's Nick? Is Nick on this call? Nick.
I'm here.
Okay. Nick is 16 years old. Okay. He is, how many months are you in this game? How long you been playing with me?
Since May, so 7.
7 months. How many units are you a general partner in?
About 500.
Dude. So
Stop it.
don't sell yourself
What?
short. How much money did you invest into your 500 units?
0.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. So each one of you has a gift. Do not sell yourself short. So that's the second thing. Okay. But thank you. And I hope that you do reach out, and I hope I see you more, and don't let the money conversation stop you. All right. Go ahead. Silvius. Is that how to say your name?
Yep, you said it right. Man, I'm ready to go home. After these stories, I don't have anything else to add. Alex, thank you very much. It was nice to meet you.
Yeah.
That's it. I was advertising 32 units up until now. Like, I thought I'm selling myself good. I'm like, here you go. I'm starting my year strong. 32 units. Grant teach me.
Mm-hmm.
I had the opportunity to meet the guy years ago, and it didn't click for me for years. I've been in the single family homes for 20 years plus, did everything. I have Airbnbs right now. I'm selling. I'm down to one last more. I don't see any single family homes. I don't see the flips. I don't even see the business. I don't even check the bank account anymore. I'm completely lost after these 5 days.
Yeah.
I'm underwriting 24/7. I'm putting deals on the table. I'm doing the numbers. They don't work. I'm in New York City area. I mean, nothing works here. These guys are overpriced by 8 millions on a $12 million deal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand how it works. And I don't see where else to look. I live in Pennsylvania. There's not many commercial properties around me. And now all of a sudden I became geographic agnostic. Like, I want to go anywhere. I don't care. And this number, man, I just put it down. Now it's 800 units. Thank you, guys.
Good.
Now it's gonna be 800
Congratulations.
units, man. Forget about 32. What I want to bring this call to, Alex, because you were looking for a reference. I want to analyze the deal. Like, I really want to see you picking up a deal
Mhm.
and going through those numbers, just like Grant did, because I get stuck around one thing, around the property value. That determines the cap rate. Some people are telling me don't do the math based on the cap rate. That's not good. There's so many options out there, and I'm doing my numbers, and I get around always come back to this property asset value. I mean, the guy is asking the money. I do the math. I'm not even close. How are we going to close this gap?
Yeah. All right.
That's-
So we will go into that. Okay.
Thank
I
you.
think this is a
Appreciate
good. So I know everybody's still got their hands up. If we have time, we will go back to that afterwards. But let me get started. 35 minutes in, I should probably do some underwriting. All right. All right. This is a good segue. Thank you, Silvius. I will share my screen and let's learn some things about underwriting. And maybe we'll just start. Joe, you're going to unmute yourself too. And the deal that you brought to me yesterday, it's very high level and it's there's a lot of different components to it. So I think we can learn a lot through that. All right, so let's see. I will share my screen. Which do I share this one? Do you guys see a black screen? What do you guys see?
Yes.
Yes,
Yep.
black screen.
There you go.
You're good. You're good. It says hi.
Okay, cool. All right. Joe, give me some of the numbers.
You want the
give
original
me-
list price?
Well, actually, you know what? Let me start with something real quick.
Yeah.
So the value, a lot of people are uncertain how to get these numbers. Value or the purchase price of a property or what you should offer. Value equals NOI, which is net operating income. It's your income minus expenses before debt. Okay, so gross income minus expenses. I don't know how to write before debt. Okay, so that's your NOI divided by the cap rate. Cap rate is represented in percentage. So if we have something that is a 4 cap, it is represented as 0.04. Everybody with me on that? So if we have the NOI as 100,000 and we don't know how much it costs, nor do we know how much cap rate, what's the cap rate, you would kind of look at the market. What's the market for a Class A? Class A is something that is newer in a great location, offers a lot of amenities. Nick, if you can mute people that are not muted, thank you. B, Class B is just, you know, something less than that, maybe less amenities. And C is your normal value add properties, force appreciations. A lot of newer people start there. I start there. I started there. And I'll show you how you make money in those deals. All right, so let's just say we're like, all right, the market right now, since interest rates are at 6, 7, 8, 9%, I don't really want to offer anything under 6 cap. So 6 cap on this deal, represented as 0.06. So do 100,000 divided by 0.06. You guys can put it in the chat. That's how much I should be paying for this property. Now, what happens if we don't have the NOI, nor do we have the price, nor do we know the cap rate? What we can do is we get the number of units. Let's say it's 10 units. Actually, you know what? I should not write 10 units, because then you guys will start thinking about 10 units. I'll change that. Why is my eraser so little? Okay. 100 units, 100 unit property. We don't know the NOI. We don't know the cap rate. We don't know the value of it. It's a Class A. Class A property. Let's say it's in Fort Lauderdale, Las Olas area. Class A, 100 units. And we'll go in there saying, well, maybe we could do a 4.5 to 5 cap. Okay, that's the max we can go, because nobody's selling this Class A is going to go higher than that. So 100 units times, let's say it's 1,500 per unit per rent. We're going to multiply, and this is the math that Grant's been doing. He does this napkin underwriting 10,000 times, and I've been sharing with people on this call to do this math 10,000 times. 0.9 for the occupancy rate. This is how you do napkin underwrite, by the way. You want to be super conservative. Even if they tell you it's 97% occupied, you just underwrite it at 0.9. Okay. And then you multiply 100 units times 1,500 per month, 0.9 for the occupancy rate. And then you multiply this by 12 for 12 months. We do everything in years. 100 units times 1,500 times 0.9 times 12. This will give you 1.62 million as your gross income. There may be some extra income added onto this, but we're going to just keep it really simple. And to make it even simpler, and Grant teaches this as well, is a napkin underwrite. To be conservative, we take 50% expense. 50% expense on 1.62 million is 810,000. This is your NOI, right? Your gross income minus your expenses before the debt. NOI. 810K being your NOI. We're going to divide this thing by 5 cap. Put in the chat what you guys got. Hope everybody got 16.2 million. That's how much this property is going to be. Now, what do? We go on to the next. Okay. And actually, you know what? I'm going to give you guys a trick here too, as well. What happens? What do you multiply by if this says 48% expense? What do you multiply this number by?
52.52.
Oh, yes. Because you're looking for the NOI. You're not just going to multiply by the expense. Okay. Sometimes people mess this up. I know you're all smarter, so I'm just throwing that out there. Okay, 16.2 million. Now what do we do? So we're gonna say, let's look at the debt now. How much is gonna cost? Remember, 810,000. We'll just write it on the side. 810K is our NOI. All right, 16.2 million. We're gonna look at the interest rates are at on this deal, you probably get like, I don't know, 6.5%. 6.5% is your interest rate. Grant says add 1.25 to this to add principal. All right, you guys know that loans are usually principal and interest, right? Principal, interest, tax, insurance. That's how, like pity. So you want to add principal to this to make your underwriting more conservative. So let's add another 1.5%. So if you take, oh wait, sorry. And also LTV, loan to value, which is how much loan they will give you to the property. So right now, 60% is the loan to value. That means you take 16.2 million times 0.6. You have a $9.72 million loan. You guys with me still? If there's any confusion, I can't see anybody because I'm on this this screen right here. So if you have questions, you can unmute and just ask.
Yeah, I got a
I'm sure-
question.
Yes. Okay.
Yes,
Where does
go ahead.
60% come from?
Yeah. So loan to value, banks will give you loan to value based on how much the DCR is. So DCR
16.2.
or sometimes DSCR. DSCR is debt service cover ratio. How much is your NOI, right, over the debt? So we'll get this number in a second. But because interest rates are higher, the cost of your owning this property is more, they're not going to give you as much loan to value. In the beginning of the year when interest rates were 3%, 4%, you see people over leveraging all the way up to 80%. They'll do an 80-20 because with 20% down, they can still generate enough money after they can still generate enough money after the loan itself. But as it gets higher, now you're leveraging 80%. You can't cover that loan anymore. So banks got to watch their assets, right? They got to make sure that they don't set you up to fail. This is why this game is great, because the banks are actually on your side. Grant talks about this a lot. Other questions? Okay. So
Can I just ask one thing expanding on that, Alex?
yeah, go for it.
Like we never used loan to value with Grant. He always gave us a DSCR.
Mhm.
So are those numbers correlated in some way?
Yeah, everything's correlated. Like the DSCR is usually 1.2 at least. You got to be. Now they may have changed their criteria for loans to be higher. Also, they look at the property, the asset itself. So this number is kind of changing based on the lender that you have. Loan to value, it changes as well, but it's really based on the numbers. You know, like what can your asset cover? Like if you can get a positive cash flow with 100% leveraged, okay, no problem with that. You know, it's riskier, but if you have 40% down, you don't have as much of a responsibility. Okay, so we're going to look at loan to value right now because you'll see this more often. And then the DSCR is kind of like, it matters, but it also different loans. Some loans you don't even need to reach a 1.0 DSCR. Okay, well, that's a little higher level. I just want to keep this real simple right now. So is anybody not following the math?
Me, Connie, sorry. Can we go back to
Oh.
16.2 million, Alex?
Mm-hmm.
It says
Yeah.
16.2 at 6.5%. So the
Yes.
16.2, that's the value of the property?
Yep.
Okay, and then where did what's the 6.5? Is that a cap rate? What is that?
No, this is the interest. This is the principal.
Oh, wait. That's the interest
Yeah, we haven't gotten to it yet. So this is gonna be 8.
and
Okay.
that's principal. Okay, I got
Yeah.
it. Got it.
Okay, so we're about to get there right now. The first thing you do is you got to figure out how much loan you're gonna get. So at 60%, I'm gonna just erase this 80 so it doesn't confuse anybody. At 60%, you have $9.72 million that the bank's gonna loan you on this property, right? And then so what do you have to raise? 16.2 million minus 9.72 million. You have to raise capital raise down payment. Actually, you know what? Let me put that as down payment. 6.48 million. Plus, you're going to need closing costs, reserves, plus acquisition costs. You're going to be, these are all different things that you got to raise as well. Maybe some of the risk capital if you want to get some of that out as well. All right, so you're going to be raising more money on it, and we'll get to that in a second too. So let's just move forward on this debt real quick. 9.72 million times, okay, 8%.
Alex, when you
This
say
number.
risk capital, what exactly is risk capital?
Risk capital. Let's just hold that question for a second. Okay, I'll go to the GP tables in a little bit. Risk capital is a part of the general partner table that you can participate in, which is like putting down the EMD, the legal costs, the inspections and appraisals and all those things, that all the costs that the general partner team has to come up with before they go into closing. Once it goes into closing, then you can use your investors' money. Okay, so I'll get to that in a sec. Let's just get this math completed. So $9.72 million at an 8% that you're going to multiply, what do you guys get?
777,600.
Look at you go. You're waiting.
Sometimes.
So mute, everybody mute, please. This is how much it's going to cost your debt. Your 9.72 million is going to cost you 770,600 every year. Your NOI is 810,000. So you subtract this. $810 minus 777. You have a positive 32.4 thousand cash flow. Is everybody following right there so far? Okay. This is also important to know, what is your DSCR at this point? You take 810,000 and you divide it by 777,600. You have your DSCR, everybody here, 1.04. Now, what does this cash flow mean? Remember, we had to put this much money down plus all of that. So let's just say it's $7 million we have to put down. Okay, let's say it's $7 million we had to put down. Okay, all of that. 32.4 thousand divided by 7 million. You have a 0.46% cash on cash. That's what you can offer your investors. And this is before you do any split with the general partners. Everybody following?
No, can you repeat, please?
Well, I
The
missed that.
yeah, can you repeat the numbers that you use to get the
Mhm.
cash on cash?
So your cash flow itself is how much you're gonna get, right? After your NOI minus the debt, at the end of the year, you got $32.4 thousand. But since it cost you $7 million to get this deal, the percentage that you're getting return on your money every year is only 0.46%. If I told you guys to invest $100,000 and you will get $460 back per year, what do you guys think? $100,000 that you're gonna invest. It's gonna net you $460 per year. Now
Not a
everybody's
good
like,
deal.
shit, I'd rather stay in my single family. So yeah, that's not a deal that's gonna work. All right, so this is the basics of the math. And we'll send out the recording of this so you guys can go back to it and kind of go through this again. And if you're not getting this, it's totally okay. You watch it and do this yourself 3, 4, 5 times, you're gonna become a pro at this. Okay, and since somebody asked about, was it Donna? You asked about the risk capital. And I'll just quickly go over this. This is just what happens on a GP, in a GP deals. It's called the GP table. So normally how our team does it, whoever finds the deal, let's call it deal source. Deal source is everything from finding the deal to negotiating the deal to putting an LOI on the deal to signing the contract on this deal. Okay. This table is going to give the general partners 10% of the deal. So let's say this is a 70-30 split. It is a $10 million deal. $6 million. Sorry. They gave us a, 60% LTV. So we put down somewhere around $5 million. Let's just say, so this is really, it's 4 million plus all the other costs. The general partners, 5 million times 0.3. The general partner table really is worth about $1.5 million here. All right. And let's say we do a 2% acquisition fee. Okay, Grant does a 1%, but he's doing 1% on, $150 million or what, those monster size deals. So 2% of 10 million, like we buy this property for 10 million, the general partners did a lot of work. They get 2% as a fee for getting this deal done, 0.02. There is also $200,000 at closing or around closing that we will be paying out to the general partners. All right, so you got your deal source is the first one. The second one is, this is your risk capital, basically. So this deal, $10 million is going to require $100K as an EMD, earnest money deposit. Okay, this goes into an escrow. And as long as you pull it out before or you close the deal, you won't lose it. But if it goes past the due diligence period, there is a good chance that this money the seller would just take. Okay, so you have 100K for EMD, maybe you got 15,000, 15K for your syndication paper, okay, with your attorney, another 15K on inspections, you got another 15K on appraisal, and then maybe you have to put in another 50K for a 30-day extension. All right, so this is 45, 195K as your risk. That's what's needed. This table, also 10%. Next, you have your asset man. Actually, I'm going to do asset management last. You got to raise the capital. Oops, let me just write it out. I don't want to do abbreviations. Capital raise. All right, capital raise is the $5 million that we have to raise. This entire table, let's say it's 5 people in here, they each raise 1 million. So 5 people raised 1 million each. This table is worth, for us, depending on what it is, how hard it is, 35% of the GP table. So these 5 people are splitting 35% equally, which is what, 7% each? Of the GP table. All right, the next is your, who's gonna sign on to the loan? Balance sheet. Guarantor. Typically, what a lender wants to see is you have the net worth of the loan, and this could be a couple people put together. So maybe like me and you, we both have $5 million net worth. We can come and sign on together. They're also going to want 10% liquid. That means on this deal, you got to be able to show $1 million. Oh, wait, sorry. This is a $5 million loan or $6 million loan. So you're going to have to be able to show 10% liquid somehow between the partners that are signing on, typically. All right. And usually we give this balance sheet guarantor also about 10%. So where are we at? We're at 10, 20, 30, 65% out there. The last one is the asset management. Asset management is probably one of the most important parts of the deal because this is actually 70, 80% of the deal. Who's going to take care of this? Who's going to implement the CapEx work? Who's going to implement and execute the business strategy that you have in this deal? So this could be bookkeeping, investor relations, in relations. Do not underestimate investor relations and the importance of this role. When we first got started, we all got real excited. None of us were into data entries and, you know, writing newsletters and following up with people. Somebody has to do this. This is the communication, the transparency, and what you're going to say to your investors to keep them engaged, excited about the deal. Because the one thing that will kill the deal is when your investor or get unhappy investors is when you have investors that have no idea or haven't received any updates from you. Okay. Ask me how I know. So bookkeeping, investor relations, who's got the pulse on the management company? You know, there's just the list goes on of things that you got to do. Marketing, we have marketing, right? Who's running the meetings? There's a lot of things that this breaks down into. But as you can see, if there is $1.5 million for the table, whoever sourced this deal has about 150K worth of equity in this deal. Okay. And they're going to get 10% of the acquisition cost. So they get 20K in this place as well. Risk capital, these people put it up. It's the same thing. There's 150K to split between everybody here. And they will also receive 20K between them. Capital raising, you got 1.5 million times 0.35. 525K goes to this bucket. A lot of money there. 200K times 0.35. You also have $70,000 as acquisition going to these partners. So you guys see a deal that is $10 million is providing, if there's only 5 general partners on this deal, people are making money, right? Same thing. Who signed on to the loan? They're going to get 150K in equity here, 20K in acquisition. Down here, same thing, 525K in your equity, and then 70K in acquisition costs. I think I did a pretty thorough job explaining that. Is anybody confused about what I just shared right there? Okay, great.
Hey, Alex.
Yeah.
Hey, Alex.
Yes.
Joe here. Just quick question. Okay, so just to bullet points, the balance sheet is 10%, asset management is 35%, cap raise is 35%. That brings it to 80. Risk capital is 10%. And then the first 10%, was that the acquisition?
No, who found the deal? Sourced the
Who
deal.
found it? Okay,
Who
got
put it
it.
under contract? Who did all the due diligence work? Underwrote that, things like that.
Got it. Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
So that's what a general partner table looks like. And if you want to start to participate in there, you will. This is typically what you will go through with your general partners before the deal closes. Okay. Last thing you want is to try to figure this out after you guys have raised the money and the deal is closed and everybody's all like, "Eh, well, we didn't agree to that." Okay. So there's usually one person or a group that is leading the deal and they will put this together. All right. Cool.
Question. So if you're the deal source, would it make sense for you to take the initiative to set that, like write that out for everyone else, like make you more valuable?
Nope. Just because you deal sourced, like for example, if you were to get into a deal with me, you don't know how to close the deal. You can't sign on the sheet. You don't know how to raise the capital. You don't know how to do any of this, but you found a great deal and you asked me for help. And you and I together, 50-50, we got this deal under contract. Okay. But you will be the deal source person, really. You'll get your piece in the deal, and that's how you get into the deal. You participate, but because you have no other experience, I'm gonna be you can participate in risk and capital raise. Maybe you're like, hey, I got some people, mom, friends, whatever, that's gonna invest. Cool. They're invested in there. Typically, myself or my team will sign on to the balance sheet. If you have money that you want to put down for capital risk cap, you can participate there as well. Most likely, you will have a minimum role in the asset management section, and we will take on the majority because of the experience. Now, you want to be in your first deal to learn. You're not in your first deal to make money. So I saw somewhere that immediately somebody was like, "Oh, how much money is Nick making on cash flow?" Like if you're going straight to that thought, there is still more you have to break through before you get into multifamily deals. All right. You may want to become an investor first. Why do you want to be an investor first? Because you're about to ask people to invest in your deal. You have to wholeheartedly believe that an LP position is the end goal. When we say we want passive income, it's because it's an LP. That's true passive. We should all be striving to put money away every year as an LP. Now, as a general partner, you're going to make more returns because you're putting in work. See, that's the mentality. I'm still going to trade money for trade time for money. If you make more money at your job, you trade time for money there and you participate in these minimally. Okay, you do this as a side thing until you have enough experience and you want to do this full time for yourself. All right. So, any other questions?
Yes.
Okay, Joe, why don't you? Oh, okay. Yes. Hi.
Can you bring back the screen a little bit? So I'm thinking that the 150K and the 20K that you put in under each one is coming from go down a little bit more. From the 2%. No. What I mean is, yeah. This 1.5 and 200K closing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. So you see, this is
that's 22% of the acquisition, or 2% of the cost.
Your acquisition fee is 2% of the purchase price.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's where you get the 1.5 million from?
No, that's the 70-30 split on the 5 million raised. That's
Oh,
the equity.
okay.
This is the equity in here.
Okay.
The 70-30 split or the 80-20 split, whatever it is based off the equity that is raised.
Okay.
Okay. But so some people will be like, oh, well, that's why you don't want to be an LP. But that's not the case either. Because the truth of it is that you don't get when the deal is sold. Okay. And this is what you want to look at as an LP as well when you're investing with somebody. When the deal is sold, do they go 70-30 split right away? Or do they pay the investors this $5 million back first? And anything gained on top of that is going to be 70-30 split. Or do they just take this and go 70-30 split right away? So as an LP, you want to know what it's called the exit, the disposition. Is that confusing? Does anybody not understand that?
Just repeat that one.
Okay, so let's say we sell this deal for $15 million. We make $5 million, right? We make $5 million. Do you return, or actually no, let's say we sell it for 16 million. So we make $6 million on this deal. Do we return the 5 million to our investors first, or do we straight up take $6 million and split a 70-30? And then we split the 1 million 70-30. So as an investor, this makes a very big difference as an LP. Right? Okay.
So what's
Yeah, Alex, so
What's
What's
most common? What's the most common way of that split? How do most people do it?
You'll see most people will do it on the return of capital first. So whether you have preferred returns or whatever, you return the money to your investor first and then you do the split. Now, I'm not saying that one way is right and one way is not, because you might have such a good deal that this is the way to do it. You might already be returning your investors 10% cash flow every year. So, this is, then you just do that right off the bat. You might have already returned majority of their money by the time you're going into the sale. Okay. So a little bit higher level conversation there. We'll go into that once, maybe further down the road when we start talking more about general partners. This deal, I mainly just want to help us get to, we'll see everything first, and then we can ask questions like, oh, well, how do I begin? How do I talk to brokers? Like, we do all of that stuff on this call, just not on the same call, right? It just depends on where the conversation goes, and then we will go there, because every week there'll be different people. Or the same. Would love to see the same.
Alex?
Okay. Yes.
Carolyn Hart.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you so much for doing this. I got a little bit lost at the end, but I'm studying, and
Where did you get lost?
My question. Well, actually, I want by LP. You mean the lead? What do you mean by L? What do you mean by L?
General partners is the GPs. You'll hear this. They are the operators of the deal. Okay, that's what everybody really wants to learn how to do as you're in this game right now. When we say we have 800 units asset under management, we are general partners.
What's
limited
the
partners?
Okay.
Limited partners don't participate in anything besides get mailbox money.
Okay.
Okay, they don't have a say in what goes on in the deal. They can request, but this deal is run by the general partners. Limited partners are the people that invest the money, and all they care about is money goes into their bank.
Thank you.
What we do in our deals and what we have is all of our limited partners that invest with us, if they are interested in becoming a general partner, we do a call on Saturday mornings. That's only for the people that has invested with us. We do a call Saturday mornings for all of those investors. We talk about the different deals that they're part of. you know, and they can learn how things are run, right? So it gives you a little behind the scene, if you will. So that's what we offer. Not everybody offers. There's a lot of teams out there. They don't got the time for that. We're still small enough that we do something like this. Okay.
So I am going to, if I am able to bring a deal to you or to a bunch of people, that would be great. What if I can't? And I only have, I've invested in Cardone Capital, but I'm wondering how to be taken seriously. How much can I invest and still be, you said something really interesting, which was don't count on making money with the first deal, learn. That's very, very, that's important. And I appreciate that. So if I had 60,000 or 80,000 or 60,000 or 50, or I could raise enough money to make a difference. What if I couldn't raise $1 million? I mean, would I be taken seriously if I could raise 500,000? Or
oh yeah, I mean there is plenty of the thing that you have to get really clear on is what team do you want to participate with? Okay, so don't just jump onto any team. Okay, if you were able to, if any of us were able to jump on Grant Cardone's team as a GP, I would take that over anything else because of his track record. So you watch people, okay, and actually I partner with Massive Capital, Mike Bailey, in a lot of deals, and they teach, you know, questions and things to ask as a general partner and as a limited partner. That's not something that we're going to go over on this call because I want to keep it more to the underwriting and understanding of deals, right? But you can set up a call with me, you know, reach out to me, and then we can talk more about that aspect, you know, like what it takes to be a general partner. Now, $60,000, $80,000, that's not really it's not really going to be like, oh, just because you have $80,000 you're going to be able to participate in a deal. But if you could raise 500,000, I would imagine that there would be teams that would say, okay, if you want to put some risk capital down, 60K over here, and you can raise, you know, $200,000, 300, 400, 500. You know, one of the things that me and Massive Capital, we have an understanding is if I say that I'm going to raise $1 million and I can't raise that $1 million, I want to be able to write the check for the difference. You know, if we think like that, I actually make sure that I raise $1 million every time, or whatever it is, 5 million. Okay. So it's you, and I don't expect anybody that's first getting into the deal to be able to raise any capital. But after you're in the first deal, so let's say you're like, you know what, I don't have any money, or I have 60K. I can't raise any money. Don't expect anything from me, but I'll do your newsletters. I'll do all of that. I'll be the best at it. Okay. And that's, you know, I'll make sure you're good on that team. Maybe you get like a little small percentage here, you know, like a little 5% or something like that. Right. And then you can participate a little bit in the risk. Now, this is not going to be money that's going to change your life. The cash flow on this is going to be like nothing.
Right.
But you're going to get some money and you're going to get to learn. That's the best place to learn, is to be in the deal to learn with people that are actually experienced. Passive investing, like it's insane. It's amazing.
Thank you. Okay.
Hey, Alex, can I ask just a quick question? If it needs to go over another day, that's fine. My question really was all about how to raise capital, whether or not there's a script or if there's a course, or I've heard so many times over the last 6-8 months, oh, you can get into deals and you don't need to use any of your own money. It's like, okay, well, somehow you have to be taken seriously, just like what Carolyn just said. So
I'll give you an example. One of our new general partners jumping on a deal with us, you know, we've been talking, we have good relationship, we've built it for a while, and he's like, hey, my dad has been losing money in his IRA or 401k, and he's ready to move it. So then we have a meeting. I'm like, how much is it? It's like, okay, well, it's $3 million. I'm like, all right, let's have a chat. Let's have a meeting, and I'll help you move it to a self-directed, and then you can invest into our deals. Right. So he's like, I'll raise then, you know, his dad's like, we'll give you 1.5 million. And I'm like, okay. Well, then I told his son, you know, I told this guy, I'm like, all right, come into the deal with us. You're going to be a general partner. It's going to come into this bucket. That's what you're going to be getting. He's got no risk capital. He didn't find the deal. He can't sign on to the loan. He has no experience managing asset. I'll give him another role. He's got another role because you can't just be on a deal as only capital raise. So he gets another role. You get another role, and he's going to learn. And he brought that money in there. So capital raising, a lot of it is going to come from experience. Quick example, I was doing single family raises for a while before I did multifamily. And when I came in, I was like, all right, I know I have 700K I can bring to the table. Of course, that got me into my first deal very quick. And I was like, I think I'm done. I don't know who else to raise money from. Then they're like, oh man, you killed it. We got 2 more deals. You want to be a part of it? I'm like, yes. Got into it. Didn't know what I was really doing, and raised $1.4 million. And I was like, all right, now I'm definitely done. That was some lucky stuff. People just, you know, came out of the woodworks. Then it's the biggest deal I've gotten into up to that point, 174 units. They're like, you guys, you got to bring $4 million to the table to participate here. And I'm like, well, I don't even know who to raise money from anymore. So we went in as a small team, Legends Equity Group, between like 5 or 6 of us, 7 of us. And I raised another like 1.2 million. I'm like, that is definitely lucky. No idea how that happened. It's super fluke. And then we found a really great deal. We had 16 days to close this deal. All right. That's how crazy this deal was. Raised $1.3 million.
Wow.
And then now we have 2 more deals. So it's, I don't know. There's like some magic in when you have momentum. This is why I said get into your first deal, have people see that you're in real estate, because everyone out there wants to be in real estate.
Right.
They just don't trust you yet.
Right.
But once you do some deals, you advertise yourself like, oh my God, look at this amazing deal that we got, that we just closed on. You know, and I'm doing this, and you can talk about the deal. Your confidence changes. You talk to brokers. Now brokers are giving you deals. You talk to people at conferences, and people are like, oh yeah, this person is somebody we definitely want to play with this person. Right. So all of that just happens after you get into a deal.
Okay.
That's that.
Yeah. Okay. So the deal comes first. Okay. Thank you so much.
Look in Grant's book. Deal comes first. All right. Shit. It's got 9 minutes. Joe, can you quickly give me the numbers on that deal that we looked at? Just super quick.
Yeah. So
they wanted $13.7 million on this deal.
Yeah, they wanted 13.7 million. I had a multiple conversations with the broker, and I was like, listen, man, we really like this deal, but we're just trying to, you know, make the numbers work. What if you're I took the coaching from Grant this weekend. I said, man, let me ask you, like, what if your guys don't get the number? What if they don't get the number they want? He goes, well, let me tell you. He goes, I'll tell you this, Joe. He goes, they'd take 10 million, like, no problem.
Okay.
Boom!
Let's
That's more than a haircut, man. That's a buzz cut right there. Yeah, so I took the coaching. So now we got 10 million. That's where we're at.
Okay, so this deal has an existing 365 units of storage, and then there's 601 units to build, right?
Correct.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's just say this 10 million, we're doing a 60% LTV again. Okay. So we need a loan of $6 million.
Yep.
We need to put down somewhere between 4 to 5 million. That's our down pay. $6 million at, I don't know, what is it? What did you
I have it
underwrite
at
this,
7%. I have it at 7%.
Okay.
So that's debt of 420,000.
Okay, your debt is going to cost you 420K. This is how much your debt is going to cost you right here. Okay. And what do they have for the NOI for 365? What's the gross?
The gross is 682. Now, the expenditures are not 50%. I've looked at the rent roll. I mean, we wrote it up at 65%, 35% expenditures with an NOI of 443.
Yep. So we did times 0.65, okay, to get the NOI. Now, this all comes from experience too, guys. Like, we've done a bunch of different storage units, so we know that storage units aren't going 50% expenses. Storage units, this is high. 35% is high. We have a storage unit that we have a deal in Savannah, Georgia, that is operating at 19.9%. Crazy. Okay. So you have 443 NOI minus your debt, 420. You're making $13,000. Wow. So it's great that we're positive cash flowing even on this. Okay, everybody with us here? What do we enter this deal at? 10 million. And this is class A. They're just done. They just finished building this.
Yeah, it's brand new.
10 million. Wait, what was the NOI? 443. 443K divided by your purchase price, 10 million. So NOI, remember, NOI is the value cap rate. So we're just seeing what cap rate we went into just for shits and giggles. So you take your NOI and you divide it by the value, will give you the cap rate. So what did everybody get? NOI divided by cap, 4.43 divided by 10 million. Okay. So the deal is not really making any money right now, right? Now there's a phase 2 of this deal. Phase 2 of this deal. What is it, Joe? How much is it going to cost us?
So they estimated, so phase 2 is 601 units. Same property. It's 12.5 acres. Their build cost on it is 6.6 million.
Okay. And what did you write this? This is also at 7%.
I wrote it at let me see. I did the NOI on this is
So
1 million.
They have a projected NOI based on what they already have.
Correct.
Right? Okay.
Yep.
What is it?
The projected net is 1,069,000, again at 35%. Expense gives an NOI of 641,400.
Okay.
And the construction loan on this
is 6 million at 7%.
Yeah, 6.6 million at 7% is 462,000. That would be the loan on it.
Okay. So this is going to be your year. If you're going to do this deal, this is your carrying cost, guys. So first, you're only making 13K on the phase 1 of the deal. Phase 2 of the deal that you got going, you got to pay 462K a year. But since it's a construction loan, they're going to give it to you in phases. Okay. It's called a draws. Okay. So they're not going to hit you with $6 million right away. It'll be like couple hundred, all that. It's going to be done in phases. But let's just keep it simple. It's going to cost you 462,000 for the year for carrying cost. Let's just say, all right, we're going to raise double that just to be safe, 920K. We'll raise an extra that just to keep us afloat for 2 years. We build out the property. Right now, what do we owe? We owe 6.6 million plus 6 million. So we owe 12.6 million, right? How much did we raise so far? Our equity that we have in the deal is 920K that we put in, and also what's
4
up
million.
here? Was it? What did I put?
4 million.
We put 5 million.
Oh, okay. Well, it was 10 million and you did a 60%.
Yeah, but you got to raise other money with it,
Yep. Okay.
Because the GP's got to get paid. You got 2% acquisition, you got reserve money, you got all sorts of stuff that you're holding. So, all right, 5.92 million, you're in this deal. That's how much we had to raise total. Hey, come on, pen. Let's say in a couple years, once we do this, we want to refi. Let's go at a 5 cap refi. Come on. 5 cap refi. We don't need to really do anything. We're just going to say that this is true. Okay. So 641,000. 641, 4,000 divided by the 5 cap. You've increased the value of this building by 12.8 million. Just by doing this, okay, by your phase 2. So you have, you got to pay, if you come back out, if you refi back out, you got to pay off 5, let's just say 6 million, okay, for what you raised. You still have $6.8 million here to split between the GP and your investors.
And actually, Alex, that NOI on the second one is 694,850. So it's a handful of points higher. I think you have 641 there.
It'd be 13 million, 14 million, something like that. At this point, this is all free money, right? We already paid off what we came in with. We still have $6.8 million. Like, this is stupid. If we refi this, now we got 1,000 units. Class A storage. And we keep this thing, we raise the rents, blah, 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 do it again. And then we go and refi again. And we just keep going. We've already made our investors a freaking buttload of money. There's nobody's got money invested in this deal anymore. It's sick. So I know I went really fast on that, and I'm going to actually just get out of this screen share because I don't even know who's left in this call.
65 people left.
No.
65 people left.
People still
No,
here.
are left
Oh,
on the
still
call.
here. Oh, okay. I was like, dang. I thought I was on fire a little bit. Okay, so yeah. That is how you make $13 million. I promised I was going to show that to you guys. And there it is. And we are going to put this thing under contract soon. We would update you guys. Any questions? I want to start to wrap it up here. Thoughts, questions?
Quick
What you guys
question
think?
about the storage unit stuff. Is what's typical occupancy on a storage facility like that?
I don't know. I would say 85% would be pretty good for that deal.
Okay.
Because storage units move around a lot, you know, like people aren't on a yearly thing with it. Most of these things are on a monthly.
Yeah.
So is storage as good as multifamily? I like it. I like it better. But I also like multifamily. I just like multi-units. That's what Grant has really taught me. All right. So super sweet deal. Ryan, you got your hand up. What's up, buddy?
Hey, I forgot I still had my hand up. I just wanted to say good job. And now I'm glad I got to see the numbers on that deal. That's a sweet smoking lot of unit deal. Yeah, and I like the building out the extra units there. Why is that guy selling? Is he just like pinched with did he have a bridge loan or something, or what's the deal?
No, so I asked the broker multiple times on our initial call, and then I asked him again yesterday. I said, let me ask you again, man, why are these guys selling? And he said they have another project that they're interested in, and they want to put their money into that project.
Yeah. You got to think when these big guys are playing, they have multiple things happening, and it's about opportunity cost for them. You know, So like Grant said, everybody is distressed when they have these things on the market, which this guy is. His distress is that he needs to get cash out to get into another deal so he doesn't lose the other deal or something.
So
right?
it's
Something's
actually
happening.
So it's actually a builder that's selling it. It's the builder of the actual development, I guess, correct? It's the
Yeah,
builder?
I think so. This thing was built in 2019. So I don't anticipate they built it and then sold it and then now they're getting out again. Because whoever bought it, like there's no reason why they would get out. And if they weren't distressed, this is sick. Even the broker was like, dude, this is a home run property for somebody.
I know, like, oh my God. So, and I have so many questions because, what we've learned in this Fort Pierce, I mean, I have all kinds of questions about it. Are they roll-ups? Are they, are they inner,
we'll talk about that. You're going to be on that deal. Don't worry.
No, I love to learn more about the way they built them new versus what we're dealing with in Fort Pierce. It'd be so nice to like, oh, we got roll-ups more than you can do. I mean, like, man, it'd be good to be in a deal. Anyway, we'll talk more.
So here, I'll tell you real quick, just a little bit about that deal. I think 201 of the units are air conditioning and 138 are exterior, and they are roll up. And the second phase, 601 units are all air conditioned.
Ooh, nice.
And it's up to us. Maybe we'll do some roll-ups because we did find some interesting facts about roll-ups.
Yeah,
so
we have to see the market up there. And also, is there extra space for boat and RV parking? And oh my gosh,
I mean, it's a lot of land. So we're not going to give too much away about the deal, obviously. And but I just wanted to use that as an example, to show you guys what's possible out there. Yeah, you'll probably, if you're in Grant's club, you're going to probably see us pitching it soon. So yeah, we'll take some ass whipping from Grant on those calls.
Joe can be next in line after I got mine.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you on the spot, Joe. So
I know, I'm preparing myself.
Yeah, listen, I mean, when you're pitching a deal and you don't know your deal, Grant will rip you apart. But it's great because now you know. And that type of experience, how do you get that? How much can you pay for an experience like that? By being in his club, I've saved hundreds of thousands of dollars on deals. So
yeah, just
put a book in your pants.
Yeah, just don't talk much. Just
All right, so let's wrap this up with a couple more questions. Anybody, like, what do you want to see in the following week? What do you want to see next Thursday? Where do you feel like we need more of for newbies or not newbies, anybody? What would you guys like to see more
I want to
of?
know where your lenders are. Who are your lenders or your favorite people that you go to for loans?
Yeah, so my favorite people is just a couple people that I have on my team, and they handle all that. But so we can do Thursday nights actually. So I bring on Tyler and Tanner from Atlas Capital. They are doing loans for me on the Fort Pierce deal. I want somebody to shop the loans for me. Okay, I don't want to go direct to Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, nothing. I don't want to go direct to a bank. I want somebody to shop the loans and give me 70 options. And then actually screen the 70 options and give me 2 of my best options. And I don't mind the broker making money on that. Okay, this is a team sport. Don't lose deals or get yourself in situations over small money. Don't worry about leaving small money on the table and losing big money. Like, lose the small money on the table so that you can get big money. Jackie, go ahead.
Thank you, Alex. That was fast, but I'm getting it gradually. So my question is about the deals. So if you have like the 1,000 deals we just did, how do you divide it among them? Say if I have to introduce myself to a broker and it's like, how many units you got by yourself? What do I say? Do I say in my group we have like thousands unit or what?
Yeah, you want to leverage your team. This is why it's so important to build the relationships now. You know, when I first got into it, I just kept leveraging off my team's thing. You know, I'm like, yeah, we're doing deals in Houston. We got deals here. And I'm learning the deals that my partners have done, so I can talk about them. All right, because and you don't really have to say that much. You know, in the beginning, I remember trying to figure out the answers to the questions that the brokers may have. But just by doing that, I actually got myself in more trouble. So if you're speaking to brokers, there are only two things that you want to get accomplished. One is to get more information about the deal and get to your objective quickly. If you're searching a market, you might be asking for a management company. You might be asking for some information about the market. Get your objective. Okay. And two, get onto a list. Get on a broker list. Those are the only two objectives. If you start talking too much, the broker is going to be like, yeah, I'm not even going to take any more time with this guy. Right? You get those two objectives done, hang up, and then find opportunities to follow up with the broker. Always. Any small thing. Like I told Joe's followed up with this broker like 3 or 4 times already. That's how you build a rapport. Joe he's never done multifamily. He just joined the club. And with me sitting next to him with, you know, now he's got the broker telling him it's freaking $10 million to take the deal. Like the results, right? And this is all coming down from Grant teaching me these things so I can pass it along to you guys who are not ready to make that type of commitment yet. But you want to absorb all this information yourself. You know, if you can be around Grant, be around Grant. If you can listen to his stuff, listen to his stuff. Like I'm around a lot of, and I follow a lot of very successful people. Not very many people have the type of abundance mindset that Grant has. That's it. So yeah, I hope that supports. Okay, Madison, go ahead.
Thank you.
Hey, Alex, thanks. Yeah, I'd love to hear more about the process of getting into deals and things as like a GP and whatnot, especially as a newbie and one without, you know, capital to raise. I might be able to go find some capital from somewhere, but most likely I'd be trying to get in on these deals without anything out of my coming from me, you know, putting in the work, you know, maybe being on somewhere in the management team or something like that. So I'd love to hear more about the process of doing that.
Yeah, I mean, I literally got somebody on my team or somebody that has been in our circle, been on my calls a lot, and I see them, talk to them, I hear them all the time, and we develop a good relationship. He's like, listen, I'll move anywhere. I'm like, what? He's going to be boots on the ground. He's like, I'll move anywhere in the country that you do a deal. Okay, so now he's going to be in a deal, no money. I need somebody to be there, boots on the ground. So that's an option, right?
What do you mean by that? Like boots on the ground? Like what would he be doing for you
I need somebody to be there by the property. You know, like, I don't know, live by the property so that if anything's going down, you can have visuals on it. If we need to meet the broker or meet the management company there, we have somebody meet them there. You know, like just that gives the peace of mind to us, and your boots on the ground learning everything. Like if I was just getting started and I got nothing and my life wasn't really going anywhere anyways, where I am, I'll move anywhere, you know, with a good team. If the good team is willing to, and even this year, I almost moved to Dallas because there was a really great deal and I wanted to be around these people. 2 guys worth $500 million doing a deal. And, you know, I got focused on what I'm doing, but I was about to just move to Dallas and freaking live next to the property.
So I bet So you said something about the management company. So they're not necessarily there managing, they're just being nearby. And then in case of something.
You're not really gonna, I mean, the goal is not to have you find a new job, right? The goal is to like have a management company handle it. Nobody on the property should be calling you saying, hey, I need this done, or the toilet's broken, or anything. They should be calling the management company, but you could be there to see like how they're doing. Maybe like we're getting screwed by a management company and they're saying, oh, we were there doing this. And I'm like, hey, go to the property and see if they actually went there. Go do this. Like those are good things to have on a team. Even though we don't actually need boots on the ground, we would give you a spot just to be boots on the ground. All right. So that's a possibility. And I'm going to say, even in your conversation, you sold yourself short that you can't raise any money. I don't know if I can raise money. I promise you, everybody here can raise money.
All right. Appreciate it, Alex. Yeah. And that sounds like a good position for me to be in. We're nomadic travelers right now as it is. We were looking to go settle down, probably East Coast, but if the right deal comes up in the right time, that could be a good way for me to go.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody's doing any deals in the East Coast. North Carolina, South Carolina, maybe.
Yeah, North Carolina. We were planning on going back to Charlotte, but we were also considering Texas since that's where I'm from. My parents are in there too, around the Austin area. So either.
Yeah, we would love some boots on the ground in North Carolina. Bye, Dr. Holt. Bye, Ola. We're building 20 houses in North Carolina. So.
Well, excellent. Keep me in mind.
Yeah, stay connected. Like
absolutely. I got a call with you, a one-on-one with you tomorrow.
Oh, snap. Okay. So here's a thing that Grant said this weekend that also landed for me. Get noticed. All right. So I tell a lot of people, I'm like, you join the club, first thing you do, raise your hand, introduce yourself, like be on camera, be noticed. Because the first thing is when you raise your hand, you move to the front of the screen. All right. So everybody sees you. You got your hand up. You got your video on. It's important to have your video on. Your picture's pretty good for you, but have your
I'm running Zoom on my computer and it wasn't picking up my webcam.
It's cool. It's cool. So, but stay connected. Get somebody to know you, right? It's not who you know, it's who knows you. And then don't let them forget you. This is the second part that Grant said. I was like, boom. You make a splash. Don't be forgotten. Yeah. And you just wait for your opportunity. Know what you want to do. Let everybody know, hey, what I want to do is I'll move anywhere in the country. Everybody should know that you're willing to do that. Because there are other operators on this team that are probably on this call. That are probably like, let's see what Alex has got going on here. No, but once you get up there, the circle's small. Everybody ends up knowing everyone. Go ahead, Grant.
Hey, so you were talking about the deal source table. What all falls under that? And walk me through that. What would I need to do before I bring a deal to a team?
Yeah, you got to underwrite the deal. You can't just if you hand me an OM, that means now I got to do the work.
Right.
You did your napkin underwrite. You talked to the broker. All the things that would save me a lot of time. And maybe all I have to do is say, hey, go back and ask the broker, go back and negotiate this with the broker, or ask the broker this question. And you do that, and we go back and forth, and then we get the deal in the contract. This is your deal source.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, cool. Good to meet you. Hey, Connie, go ahead.
Hey, everybody. So glad to see that a couple of people that I met at the conference at the summit are here. So it's really exciting to be able to network. So one of the things that I learned from Grant, because for me, it's just little sayings that really keep me going most of the time. And one of them that really, really stuck with me, and I keep saying it to myself, is courage, creativity, and commitment. And that's what this business is all about, because it does take a lot of courage to initially pick up the phone, to network, and to follow through. So I just want to say for a couple of people that maybe this is the first time that you're hearing the language of multifamily real estate. I can support you. I've got my number on there. You know, call me because I can help you get through those feelings of, oh my gosh, this is way too much. Wait, it's over my head. I'm never going to get this. How am I ever going to learn all of this? And I can promise you that you will, and I have. And so just know, you know, it just takes a lot of courage, creativity, and commitment to keep on coming on here every Monday, every Thursday, ask questions, be seen. You know, and another thing that I remember from Grant is whenever you walk into a room, whatever it is that you do, especially right now for the next 2 weeks with the holidays, is, you know, go in there with a good intention. But also my intention is who in this room has money? Who in this room has my money for this deal, for this storage deal? Because I love storage units. So, you know, go in with that intention. It's okay. All right. So I'm complete.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, you know that, Connie, so many people have come up to me and tell me how much they love you. So keep doing your thing. Like, you're amazing. You inspire me all the time. And you know, you've only been in this thing for a couple months as well, and you're killing the game. So good job. You and Jack always showing us that, you know, age is just a number. Appreciate it. Okay, we'll take 2 more questions and then we're gonna wrap this up. That's it. Thank you all for hanging out for so long. You guys made it beyond the 24 other people that couldn't handle it. Jack, go ahead.
I just want to share a little bit of a book I just finished called The Wonder Drug. And Alex, you really exemplify what this wonder drug is. It was written by 2 doctors in a hospital in Philly that were having panic attacks and going crazy. And they couldn't give up what they were doing, but they had to find a way to get better. And what they learned was that compassion is the wonder drug. Service is the wonder drug. Taking time to appreciate their patients help heal them. And you really exude a lot of that in everything you're trying to teach everybody here. I recommend the book to anybody. It's really a fantastic exercise and awareness of everything that we are and can be. So thank you.
Awesome. Love it. Wonder Drug. Could be my new nickname. Thanks, Jack. All right, Silvius.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you again for taking me in. I have a question. How do we get on a one-on-one call with you?
I would say start by following me on LinkedIn and Instagram. Message me there. Right now my calendar's pretty booked up, but message me a couple times, and if I feel like you're serious, yeah, I mean, if I feel like you're serious and you're committed to this game, then I'll, you know, we can have some chats for sure.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Go ahead, Monica.
Hi there. I'm Monica from California, and sorry I came in late. I work a full-time job in pensions and benefits, and so I am definitely new to this whole real estate world. And so I think you asked earlier what your struggle is. I'm definitely committed, but I think my struggle is being that I have a full-time job. And so I don't know if you ever started out with the full-time job. You know, I'm great on time management and so forth, but sometimes I feel that's going to hurt me, especially that joining the club, just because we also have meetings at work that I have to be. So that's my struggle. And my fear is I don't want to be left behind, you know, so.
Yeah. This whole fear thing is just made up. Okay. Like, there is what was that? Somebody was just sharing something on Instagram. If you work on something for 12 minutes a day for 100 days straight, you will be better at it than 95% of the people doing it. 12 minutes every day, 100 days straight. Like the thought of I need to do it now, like this scarcity, this fear, it will actually have you manifest that fear. Like it will make it real for you. Right. So just like when I talk about people that say they don't have enough time, I'm like, okay, well, go spend some time, donating your time, being in service. Take your niece or nephew out to the movies or to Legoland or whatever. The more you do things like that, the more you realize that you have a shit ton of time. It's like a made up thing that we don't have enough time. All right. Like when I say, oh my God, I'm so busy, I don't have enough time. I just watched 5 seasons of Suits with my wife. I don't know. I don't got enough time, but I can watch 5 seasons of Suits. So, and for anyone, don't start watching it. It's too addicting, and there's too many seasons. Just don't do it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Lyra? Is it Lyra? Ah, that's a cool name. Hi, Lyra. Okay, Monica
Hi,
from
Alex.
California. See you later. Hey, Lyra.
Hi, Alex. How are you?
I'm well.
Thank you for all your, I've attended a couple of your sessions already this week. Monday, the Wednesday Miracle course in Miracle is really great. Thank you so much for that. I'm from California as well. Hi, Monica, California here. I've been in this business. I still work a full-time job, but I've been in the multifamily home business for about almost getting to 6 years now. So I currently have 20 units, and I've known Grant for a while, but he always scares me. His personality is just so big to me before, right? But for some reason, this year, I've been following him now for at least a couple of months. So I've attended his webinars and I bought his courses and I finished it, and I've attended the virtual RE Summit. And he's just like, inspiring me, right? So all of a sudden now I'm like, I'm ready to go big. But I'm still scared. I'm still scared because, 20 units is not as big as. So really for me, I'm a loner. I like to do things by myself. But of course, I know I've learned from Grant now, you can't do it alone, right? So now I'm really going out here. This is really out of my comfort zone, talking even to a lot of people. But now I'm really interested in being in a GP role. And the question was asked earlier, how do I get on schedule a one-on-one with you? Because I want to know a little bit more about being GP. So anyways,
okay, Nick.
I think I know the answer. DM you. I'm following you on Instagram, so I got to go find you on LinkedIn. I'm also on LinkedIn. So anyways.
Okay, cool. I just started my LinkedIn like 2 days ago, so let's go.
Okay.
Let's connect. I need more connections on there. Okay, so 2 things real quick for you. One, I would take that I'm a loner thing, and then but now I'm learning. Just take that whole thing out. Don't even say those words anymore.
Yep, thank you.
The second thing is your desire to be successful in this business has to be a lot greater than your fear of failing or fear of anything else. Like you got to make your desire to win way bigger. There's a saying that our tolerance for pain and being small is great. We can tolerate ourselves doing that for a long time, but it's not without end. It's not without limit. At some point, we're going to give up that story and we're going to say there must be another way. And Uncle G is showing everybody the other way. So, yeah. Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Very true. Thank you.
Look forward to getting to know you better.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. John Jones. Last question. That's it.
It's not really a question. I just kind of wanted to get my name out there. Kind
Connie actually introduced me to you guys' group when we were at the seminar. So thank you, Connie. I'm from Minnesota. Got my winter jacket on. It's -5 here. Got a blizzard warning, but just wanted to say, very excited to be on these calls and looking forward to meeting everybody and getting invested in apartments. Looking to be a GP very soon here on a deal. Looking in Tennessee right now, and possibly trying to relocate down there in the next couple months. So, but just wanted to put my name out there.
Awesome. John Jones from Tennessee.
Minnesota right now, soon to be Tennessee.
Soon to be Tennessee. Great. So John Jones from Tennessee. Okay. We will do this again Monday. Monday's the next call. Yeah, I'm still gonna do it. I know it's a holiday, but some people may not have a life like I. And we'll do it Monday. Am I gonna have a speaker? No, I will be the speaker, so I'll answer more questions there. Thursday, we will do more of this. All right, tell your friends, tell your family. Good place to, if you want to learn to raise money, just get them on these calls and they'll be like, oh yeah, let's do this. It's the easiest way. Don't make it hard for yourself. You don't need to explain anything. You just bring them onto a call. All right. So yeah, thank you guys all very much for being here. I appreciate the support, appreciate the kind words that some of you guys have shared, and have an amazing Christmas. And whatever you celebrate, have an amazing of that. And I'll see you guys next week.
Thank you,
Peace.
Alex.
Thanks, Alex.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Alex.
Thank you, Alex.
Merry
Bye, everyone.
Christmas.